Hello, Scott Rosano with Gigbuilder.com. This is episode number 204, and we're going to be doing scheduled emails. Scheduled emails are something you can send out to a client, to an employee, to a venue on a certain time and a certain condition, and you can customize it with our token generator so that it's individual for each person. To do that, we go to Tools, we go to System Configuration, and from the System Configuration menu, we go to Scheduled Email Messages. And if it's a brand new system, you don't have any. So we're going ahead and start with one, and we're going to create new, or click New. Now once we click New, the email comes up, and the actual email portion is at the top. And there's not much to it. It's just a general email template. First of all, we need to give an email a name. And so we're going to do Sign Contract Reminder. And then we're going to put in the subject. Now this little plus here means you can add tokens, and that means you can pull information from the database to personalize the email. So in this case here, I'm going to go to Client Records, and I'm just going to go to the prospect's first name, and I'm going to add that. Sign Contract Reminder. And maybe I'll put a dash in there, make it look a little cleaner. There we go. So when this message is sent, and it's sent to a lady named Sarah, it's going to say, Sarah, sign contract reminder. Then in the message body, dear, I'm old-fashioned. We can go with inserting a token, and again, client records, we've got first name, insert token. Contract for your event on insert token. We'll go into event details tab. We'll go event start date. We'll insert that. Oops, I hit the wrong button, and we'll get back in here. Needs to be signed ASAP. Whatever. You can make this message obviously as long as you want, but for the demonstration, I'm just throwing a few tokens in there so you see how that works. When you save this message and reopen, you can click check spam. Actually, I think I can do it now. Let's give it a try. Template's ready to use. Okay, I'm just going to hit OK. And what this is going to do is it's going to come back with a number. And if you're 5 or higher, you may want to check the email for content. So we do a little bit of spam checking for you to make sure that doesn't work. And then we get to the difficult part that a lot of people run into issues with. Because this email has to be sent based upon what we have here. Right now, the only recipient for this email is the primary client, and that comes by default. So if you want to add anybody else on there, like yourself, you need to make sure you add it. Anything over here is who it's going to send to. You can also send to individual email addresses if you'd like. If you need copies sent, maybe you've got a place you archive email, whatever you want to do, you can add that as well. Now, this is where we're going to send as far as the criteria. Default service, we haven't gone into multiple services yet. Few people use them, so this rarely ever changes. The event status is huge. You need to remember this. In this case here, I'm going to use pending events because pending in Gigbuilder means we're waiting for a contract to be signed. So I don't really want to send this thing out until it's ready and there's a contract ready to go. We can then, there are some sections where like the deposits do, where we'll only send to pending events where deposits do, but we're going to do all events in status because they have to have pending, and we're good to go. So there it goes on that, and then the criteria. Let's do this like 7 days after the event is pending. So this and this kind of sometimes need to be the same, but not necessarily, because it may be after the number of days after you've created the event, etc. And then message enabled, you need to leave that. You would change this to message disabled if you want to email these manually, which we'll show you in another video. So in this case here, the primary client and the event admin are all going to get this email 7 days after pending. We don't have any attachments in here yet, and that's another advanced feature, so we're going to leave it blank, but you can add it. And now we got to go to the event filter. and it starts blank. So if you leave this alone now and save it, it's going to send to nobody because it doesn't know what event. If you click all events and push that over, then you're guaranteed that this email will go out to everybody. So again, the email is going to the primary client, the event admin, for your main service, pending events, all of them, 7 days after pending. Message is enabled, so it does it automatically, and it's literally going to all events. We go ahead and hit save. It'll register that, and now you will see a single message that's on here. And then in your daily email, it'll show what happens with these. So that is how you configure a scheduled email in Gigbuilder. Try a few for yourself. You can delete them as well. And when you're done with that, you feel comfortable with scheduled emails, come back here for the next video.